सो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू द चैनल। एंड आज के वीडियो में हम देखने वाले हाउ वी कैन क्रिएट अ वेब सीरीज recommendation engine. So let's try it out. So we have a title named web series recommendation engine, and in this box we need to type our web series. So let's try with Stranger Things, and if I click on recommend series, so it will give me some recommendations related to Stranger Things ka content. So as you know, if you have seen Stranger Things, so it is kind of a supernatural powers web series, and we are getting some similar kind of recommendations for the same. So they say if you have seen Raising Dion, Dark, Swamp Thing, so these are all supernatural horror mystery kind of series. So आज के वीडियो में हम ये देखेंगे कि हाउ टू क्रिएट दिस काइंड ऑफ रिकमेंडेशन इंजिन. यू कैन ट्राई इट विथ movies, you can try it with books, you can try it with products. So let's start coding. So I have already imported the dataset of TMDB shows, where I have a lot of TV shows. So the link of the dataset is given in the description. So सबसे पहले we will import the libraries. So I already import pandas as pd, and let's read the dataset. So pd dot read csv, and यहाँ पे will paste the path. So copy and paste. So let's check our df. Yeah, so as you can see, we have a lot of columns with more series ka name, the overview, which is nothing but the synopsis or description of the series. We have this poster path, like as in the demo you saw के हमने names के साथ साथ उस series के poster भी display किए थे. So we have genres, we have the directors, and we have the production companies. So the next thing that we'll be doing is to check out the shape. So we have like 93,000 plus web series and 11 columns, which we saw just now. So let's check the info. So df.info. So we have few of null values in some columns. Rest we have a lot of data available. So we'll check for duplicates. After df dot duplicated dot sum. So we don't have any duplicates here, but we might have some duplicates in the name or title column, because few web series have similar names. So we will not remove that. Let's check for the null count. So df dot is null dot sum. So we have a lot of nulls in poster, path, genres, director, and production companies. So what we have to do is हम overview, genres, directors और production companies को merge करेंगे, so that we'll get a whole description of that particular web series. So to do that, first we will need to fill up all the nulls, because as you can see, nulls are considered by NaN values. तो जो NaN values होते हैं वो हमेशा float में होते हैं, and you cannot mix up a string and a float value. So first we will have to fill those null values. So what we will do is we'll first fill up the null values in the genre. So I will df ka genre, it's genres dot fill na, and we will fill it with nothing. So if I just do this, so you can see जहाँ पे null values है, let's say for this particular series, यहाँ पे it is nothing. Okay, so that when I concatenate this particular column with another column, तो हमें वहाँ पे कोई उसका डिटेल नहीं मिलेगा बिकॉज वो ऑलरेडी हमारे डेटा में नहीं है. So let's store it again in the genres column. Copy, paste. Yeah, so अब genres में से nulls हमने हटा दिए. So let's do it with created by column, which is nothing but the directors. So df का created by dot fill na with nothing, and again we will store it in created by. So if we check df का created by, you get a lot of blank values. Like this is a created by column, and यहाँ पे you are getting lot of blank values. So similarly we have to do this for the production companies column as well. So I will copy this name and write df का production companies dot fill na with nothing and store it back to df का production companies. So the next thing that we need to do is to remove the spaces between the names of the directors. So let's say here we have a creator or a director named David Benioff. तो currently David अलग है और Benioff अलग है. So जब हम इसको फर्दर वेक्टर्स में कन्वर्ट करेंगे तो डेविड का एक अलग वेक्टर बनेगा और बेनियोफ का एक अलग वेक्टर बनेगा, जबकि दोनों एक ही पर्सन है. सो वी डोंट नीड दैट, बिकॉज इससे क्या होगा कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मेरे डेटा सेट में कोई और डायरेक्टर है जिसका फर्स्ट नेम डेविड है, सो आई वांट टू रिकमेंड द वेब सीरीज ऑफ डेविड बेनियोफ, बट वो किसी और डेविड के वेब सीरीज रिकमेंड कर रहा है. सो that won't be a good recommendation. So to avoid that what we will do is हम लोग इसके जो बीच के spaces है फर्स्ट नेम एंड लास्ट नेम के, वो हटा के पूरे नेम को एक सिंगल पर्सन बना देंगे. So to do that we will write df का created by dot apply. Now here we will apply a lambda function. So lambda हमें x मिलेगा, मतलब डायरेक्टर का नेम मिलेगा. What we will do is we will just do x dot replace space with nothing, and if I run it, so you can see अब डेविड बेनियोफ एक पर्सन हो गया. सो सिमिलरली जितने भी सारे डायरेक्टर्स हैं सबका नेम एंड सरनेम मर्ज होके वो एक ही पर्सन को डिनोट करेगा. सो आई विल सेव इट बैक टू द क्रिएटेड बाय कॉलम. या सो सेम इज द केस विद द प्रोडक्शन कंपनीज. रिवोल्यूशन सन स्टूडियोज़ है तो रिवोल्यूशन अलग वेक्टर, सन अलग वेक्टर, स्टूडियोज़ अलग वेक्टर, ऐसे हमें नहीं चाहिए. सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज वी विल कॉपी दिस कोड, पेस्ट इट हियर एंड बस कॉलम का नेम चेंज कर देंगे. प्रोडक्शन कंपनीज. Yeah, so as you can see अब Revolution Sun Studios ये एक ही वेक्टर है. Cool. So the next thing that we need to do is to combine all the required columns. जैसे we will be needing the overview, we need the genre, कौन से genre की web series है, we need the created by, and we need the production company. So now we can combine all of the columns. So I will write df ka, I will give a column name, let's say description, and description will be nothing but df ka overview प्लस, तो हम हर एक कॉलम के बीच में एक स्पेस ऐड करेंगे, स्पेस प्लस df का क्रिएटेड बाय प्लस स्पेस प्लस df का प्रोडक्शन कंपनीज प्लस स्पेस एंड एट द एंड आएगा df का जॉनर्स. सो अगर मैं अभी आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बताऊं, so let's fetch the first value, df के डिस्क्रिप्शन का 0th. तो यहाँ पे as you can see we have the overview, यहाँ तक we have the overview, then we have David Benioff who is the creator, ठीक है, यहाँ तक. Then we have the production companies till here, and sci-fi से we have the genre. So yeah, so that is our description for the web series. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is हम बस अब वही columns रखेंगे that is required. So I will create another df2 is equal to df का, will be needing a name, हमें चाहिए poster path, हमें चाहिए, we have a poster path here. So we have a poster path here, as you can see the poster path. So हम रखेंगे name, poster path and the description that we have created. Name, poster path and description. Cool. So this is our df2. So we have name, poster path and description in our df2. So अब हमें क्या करना है, we need to lowercase all the words in the description column, because as you know Python एक case sensitive programming language है, and all the libraries which are made are also case sensitive. So वो just for example यहाँ पे ये जो 7 है, this 7 and a 7 in lower case would be two different elements, तो हमें वो नहीं चाहिए. So we will lowercase all the elements. All you have to do is write df का description .str करने से we are converting it into a string, and then we can apply any string function. So we will write .lower. So lower is a string function. If I show you the output, so as you can see यहाँ पे कोई भी capital letter नहीं है. Let's save it back to the description. Sorry, it should be df2 का description. So we'll save it in df2 का description. Cool. So the next thing that we need to do is, as you can see names में हमारे पास कुछ ऐसे names है that are not readable by us क्योंकि वो English alphabets में नहीं है. So I don't want के recommendations कुछ ऐसे हो जिनके नाम आप पढ़ ही ना पाओ. So what we will do is we will replace this kind of movies, then we will just remove those movies from our dataset. So हम क्या करेंगे, हम यहाँ पे रेगुलर एक्सप्रेशंस यूज़ करेंगे बिकॉज वी ओनली हैव टू कीप अल्फ़ाबेट्स और नंबर्स. और so what we will do is we will import RE, that stands for regular expression. And so let me show an example. So अगर मैं re.sub करूँ and यहाँ पे if I pass a list in strings, so यहाँ पे अगर मैं hat देके specify करूँ that I need only alphabets from A to Z, small alphabets, numbers from 0 to 9, and we might have few web series जो जिनके नेम में more than one words है which are separated by spaces. So we will also include space in our series name. So I need capital alphabet, small alphabets, numbers from 0 to 9 and space are allowed हमारे नेम में. अगर इसके अलावा कुछ है then we will replace it with nothing. And then lastly we need to pass our text. तो अगर मैं आपको बताऊँ कि ये जो सीरीज़ है, if I copy the name and paste it here and run it, so you can see we are getting nothing, we are getting blank. Correct? So what we will do is we will create a function. So I will write define name checker नाम से एक फंक्शन बनाएंगे जिसमें हमें एक नेम मिलेगा. ओके, एंड देन we will return this thing, return this, and यहाँ पे जाएगा name. ओके, सो ये फंक्शन क्या कर रहा है, we will get a name and वो name में we will check if we have only these elements, तो वो name रखेगा, else वो nothing रिटर्न कर देगा. So now we have the function. तो हम इसको अप्लाई करेंगे हमारे df2 के नेम पे डॉट अप्लाई, एंड अप्लाई में हम सेंड करेंगे नेम चेकर. एंड व्हेन आई रन इट, सो यू कैन सी कि ये जो मूवी थी 9331, इट वाज दिस गाय. सो अब ऐसे बेसिकली हमारे पास जो भी मूवीज़ है जो इंग्लिश अल्फ़ाबेट्स में नहीं है, दैट मूवी इज़ रिप्लेस्ड विथ नथिंग, एंड सो वी विल ओनली कीप दोज सीरीज़ नेम जहाँ पे वी हैव इंग्लिश टाइटल. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज़ आई विल राइट df2. Okay, so before doing this I will just save this back to df2 ka name. Yeah, so now we will keep only those movies. So we will write df2 ka name. So let's first check कहाँ पर we have nothing. So इसको मास्क करेंगे df2. So we have 492 series where name is nothing. So we don't need these movies. So हम क्या करेंगे, simply I will put this expression into a bracket और बाहर में एक tilde sign लगाऊंगा. So ये tilde sign क्या करेगा, हमें इसका inverse output देगा. So if I show you the output, so ये हमारा इन्वर्स आउटपुट है जहाँ पे वी हैव नो मूवीज विद द नेम नथिंग इन इट. सो विल सेव इट बैक टू अ df. सो df3 इज इक्वल टू दिस थिंग और हमारा df3 ये होगा. बट बिफोर सेविंग इट वी नीड टू डू वन मोर थिंग, वी नीड टू रीसेट द इंडेक्स बिकॉज मूवीज स्किप हो गया है और इंडेक्सेस अभी भी वही है. So we need to reset the index. So I will write reset index and यहाँ पे drop is equal to true pass कर देंगे so that एडिशनल कॉलम ना बने. Now if we run it, yeah, so we have proper indexes and all the correct movie names. So we have done this part. Okay, so now we need to apply the same to the description column, क्योंकि our description might have some characters like that which are not readable. So we already have the function made, so the function we will apply it here. So I will write df2 का description dot apply name checker. या सो इट्स वर्किंग. तो इसे हम df2 में वापस सेव कर देते हैं. सॉरी, इट विल बी df3. सॉरी फॉर द कंफ्यूजन, इट विल बी df3 बिकॉज वी हैव रिसेंटली क्रिएटेड अ df3. तो df3 का डिस्क्रिप्शन हमें चेंज करना है. या द नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट वी नीड टू डू इज हमें वही सीरीज रखना है जिनका डिस्क्रिप्शन का लेंथ एटलीस्ट 20 वर्ड्स का हो, सो दैट वी कैन मैच इट विथ अदर डिस्क्रिप्शन एज वेल. अगर आपके मूवी में कोई डिस्क्रिप्शन ही नहीं है, सो इट्स ऑफ नो यूज़, क्योंकि वो रिकमेंड ही नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो all we will do is we will write a small function. तो हम क्या करेंगे, df3 का description dot apply. यहाँ पे what we will do, we will write a lambda function. lambda x मिलेगा, तो हमें क्या करना है, x को split करेंगे. so x को split करेंगे. so basically if you get a description, so let me show you with an example. so let's say if df3 का description का first value अगर हमने उठाया, so यहाँ पे we have a lot of words. अगर मैं यहाँ पे dot split लिखूँ, तो split में ये by default space पे split करता है and it will return you a list. so if I run it, so as you can see मुझे सारे words का एक list मिल गया. अब हमें कुछ नहीं करना, हमें बस यहाँ पे ये चेक करना है स्प्लिट करने के बाद कि whether the length of this particular list, so this list is nothing but all the words that are there in the description. so हमें बस ये चेक करना है कि ये description का length अगर 20 से बड़ा है, which means if the word count is more than 20, then we will keep that description, else we will just replace it with nan values and then हम लोग उसको ड्रॉप कर देंगे. लेंथ हमें कैसे मिलेगा, सो दिस इज़ अ लिस्ट. ये लिस्ट के बाहर वी विल यूज द लेंथ फंक्शन एंड इफ आई रन इट, सो आप देख सकते हो वी आर गेटिंग 63. सो विच मीन्स जो हमारा फर्स्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन का वैल्यू था उसमें 63 वर्ड्स है. सो व्हाट वी विल डू इज हम लैम्बडा एक्स मिल रहा है, हमें एक्स मिल रहा है. सो वी विल return x if x dot split का जो काउंट है that is greater than or equal to 20, else हम रिटर्न करेंगे np dot nan. so np dot nan is a null value, so we will have to import numpy as np. so इसको जब हम nan से रिप्लेस कर देंगे and बाद में हम ड्रॉप नल्स कर देंगे, so we will get only those description जहाँ पे word count is greater than or equal to 20. so if I show you the output, okay sorry, we need to add length. हमने length add नहीं किया, so यहाँ पे length should be greater than or equal to 20. so I won't be skipping the errors. I want you guys to handle errors as well. So yeah, as you can see यहाँ पे लास्ट के जो दो सीरीज है, here we have the description as NN, so which means these series didn't have the word count more than 20, तो ये एक bad recommendation हो सकता था. So let's again put it back to df3 का description, and yeah, so अभी अगर हम nulls drop कर देंगे तो ये सारे descriptions वाले series निकल जाएंगे. So I'll write df3 dot drop NA. Now after dropping we are getting only 58,000 plus series, but the index is still going above 92,000, so we will have to reset index. So हम लोग करेंगे reset index drop is equal to true, and I will save it in a new df4. So now if we check df4, yeah, so df4 is the cleaned data of the series, where we have 58,521 web series जिनका हमारे पास actual proper data है. Cool. So the next thing is to set the name of the series as the index, so that we can fetch it through the names, because हमें input में from a user एक name आने वाला है web series का. So I will write df4 dot set index name. So as you can see, index में we have name. Let's store it again to df4. So this is our df4. Cool. Now that we have our cleaned description, we have the names, so it's time for us to convert all these I would say tags या जो भी description है हमारा to a numerical format. So what we will do is we will just vectorize them so that हर एक series एक vector में convert हो जाएगी, and we will then find the distances between each of the vectors, and जो भी similar vector होगा we will fetch it out as a recommendation. So we will first import a count vectorizer. So from sklearn dot feature extraction dot text import count vectorizer. cv name से मैं एक ऑब्जेक्ट बनूंगा count vectorizer का. count vectorizer. So count vectorizer में we need to pass few things. So first things that we need to pass is at how many columns we want, like let's say max. So I'll write max features. So columns are nothing but the top words which are coming in all of the series. So जैसे हमारा अगर ये corpus है कुछ nearly lakhs of words का, तो उसमें से top n words जो हम लेंगे, those will be our max features. So those top n words are nothing but those words which are much higher in the frequency count, जो बार बार आ रहा है. For example action, जैसे action, animation, this kind of words आपको most of the web series में देखने मिलेगा. So let's say I need 200 words, the top 200 words, so that will be our 200 columns. And the next thing that you need to pass is stop words. So stop words में I will pass English. So stop words are nothing but this kind of words. द, इज, अ, जिनका कोई मीनिंग नहीं होता है, ये बस वर्ड्स को कनेक्ट करने के काम आते हैं. सो हैज़ दिस काइंड ऑफ वर्ड्स हमारे डिस्क्रिप्शन में बहुत ज़्यादा होंगे, तो मीनिंगफुल वर्ड्स का फ्रीक्वेंसी काउंट इन वर्ड्स से कम होगा. सो वी विल skip this kind of words. So next thing that we need to do is we will fit this vectorizer. So I'll write cv.fit and we will pass df4 का description. And इसको हम सेव कर देंगे वेक्टर्स में. Okay, so these are our vectors. Yeah, so it's done. Let's check the shape of the vector. So vectors dot shape. Okay, so we also need to transform it, so we will write fit transform. Okay, हमें सिर्फ लर्न नहीं करवाना है, हमें वेक्टर्स में कन्वर्ट भी करना है. Yeah, so now if we check the shape, so we have 58521 series and 200 columns. So if you want to check what these vectors are, so it's a sparse matrix. ठीक है, sparse matrix because it is having a lot of zero values, क्योंकि बहुत सारे words हैं जो एक डिस्क्रिप्शन में नहीं मिलेंगे, तो जीरोस ज़्यादा होंगे, एंड जहाँ पे वो वर्ड्स प्रेजेंट है वहाँ पे 1 होगा, सिमिलर टू वन नॉट एनकोडिंग. सो लेट्स चेक द फीचर नेम्स. सो इफ यू वांट टू नो कि वो टॉप 200 वर्ड्स कौन से हैं विच आर सिलेक्टेड, सो फॉर दिस वी हैव एट्रीब्यूट नेम्ड cv.get feature names out. So when you run it, you will get these top 200 words like action, adventure, crime. So these kind of words that are most frequent in all of the descriptions. तो हम क्या करेंगे, इसको एक वेरिएबल में सेव करेंगे named calls, so which are nothing but columns. So these are our columns. And अब हम एक kind of pivot table बनाएंगे where we will have left side में all the names of the movies and right side में we will have all the values of all these columns. So as you can see, अगर मैं vectors को print करूँ तो it's a sparse matrix, so we will have to convert it to array. So if I write to array, now you can see each series as an array. So ये जो first series है that is Game of Thrones I guess. So इसमें you have action, adventure, and that's why यहाँ पे the value is 1 and few values are 0. So we'll store it back to vectors because we need the arrays. And now we will create a data frame. So I'll write pd dot data frame and इसमें हमारा डेटा होगा vectors, the values will be vectors. Index would be df4 dot index, which is nothing but movie names, series names. Third thing that we need to pass is columns. तो columns है हमारे पास calls. So I will store it into a variable named new df, or if I show you new df, yeah, so this is our data set. Here we have all these column names and in the name we have all the web series names. Nice. Okay, so one last thing that we need to do is we need to add the poster path to all these web series because हम posters भी display करेंगे. So I will write df new df का poster path will be df4 का poster path. So as दोनों के indexes same है, we will get all the posters. So if I print new df, here we have the poster paths. Cool. So the next thing is to train a model. So हम लोग यहाँ पे nearest neighbors use करेंगे, which will grab 6 nearest neighbors which are similar to the ones that we are finding. So we'll write from sklearn dot neighbors import nearest neighbors. So एक मॉडल नेम से मैं एक वेरिएबल बनाऊंगा एंड इट विल बी आवर नियरेस्ट नेबर्स. अब नियरेस्ट नेबर्स में वी नीड टू पास द मेट्रिक. सो मेट्रिक में आई विल बी यूजिंग यूक्लिडियन. यू कैन ट्राई इट विथ कोसाइन. कोसाइन से भी यू विल गेट अ बेटर recommendations. So let's try it with Euclidean and algorithm that we need to pass. So let's pass brute, and you can also try different algorithms like ball tree hota hai, KD tree hota hai. You can try it with that. Next thing is to fit the model. So what I will do is I will write model dot fit. अब fit करने से पहले we will have to drop this poster path. So I will write new df dot drop columns is equal to poster path and axis is equal to 1. Yeah, so now we will run it and हमारा मॉडल ट्रेन हो चुका है. So let's check for recommendations. So to check for recommendation we need to write model dot k neighbors, and here we need to pass two things: x, which will be our one of the series that we need to find similarities with. So I will write new df dot drop columns is equal to poster path, x is equal to 1. So what we need is हमें एक input मिलेगा and उस input से हमें वो वेक्टर फेच करना है और वो वेक्टर के जो भी सिमिलर वेक्टर्स है वो हमें डिस्प्ले करना है. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज़ यहाँ पे आई विल टेक सीरी नेम. सो आई विल गिव समथिंग एज अ सीरीज नेम जो हम इस डेटा फ्रेम से लोकेट करेंगे. सो आई विल राइट डॉट लॉक में आई विल गिव series name comma all the columns. Yeah, so what this will do is this will return us all the web series, but हमें सारे नहीं चाहिए, हमें वो एक ही चाहिए. So we need to do dot values dot reshape. reshape हम करेंगे एक 1,-1 से, because we need only one value and this one represent rows. So how many rows we want one rows, and this -1 will represent how many columns we want. So हमें सारे columns चाहिए, इसलिए we are writing -1. So this is our x, and the next thing that we need to pass is neighbors and neighbors. So we need actually we need 5 neighbors, but the algorithm first जो neighbor find करेगा वो it will find it with itself. So for example, if I give stranger things, तो हमारा first recommendation will be stranger thing itself. So we don't need that, हमें next 5 चाहिए. So I will write 6 neighbors. So yeah, if I run it, if we run it, we get an error. Key error is nothing because हमने यहाँ पे कोई सीरी नेम दिया नहीं है. So let's write stranger things. Yeah. So as you can see, हमें 2 array मिले हैं. So the first array is the distances. Okay, and the second array are the indices. So what we will do is we will write here distances comma indices and इसको हम यहाँ पे स्टोर कर देंगे. So if I show you those indices and the corresponding series name that have been recommended, so we will write indices ka 0, then we have these indices. So what I will do is let's copy this index number, and अगर हम df4.index में ये fetch करूँ, so I will get this recommendation as swamp thing. So this is one of the recommendation which is similar to stranger things. So yeah, our recommendation model is working fine. Now it's time to give it a UI so that you can display what you have done. तो सबसे पहले what we will do is we will dump this data frame that we have created. We will dump this data frame to a pickle format. So I will write import pickle, and here I will write pickle dot dump. Dump में we will give the element. We have the element new df, and the next thing we need to pass is open. यहाँ पे we will give the name final df dot pkl format, which will be in a write binary mode, and as soon as I run it, you will be able to see a pickle file here. Yeah, so this is our final df. Okay, so the next thing that we'll be requiring is to install Streamlit and something known as local tunnel. So this local tunnel will help us to create a Streamlit application using notebooks. So all you have to do is just write do pip install and npm install local tunnel and just run it. So it will take a bit time to download and install these libraries to our system, and once it is done, I will just hide this output. So once it is done, the next thing that we need to do is create a app.py named file. So it's easy to create, just write this %% write file and give the name of the file. So we need app.py, and whatever you write in this cell block will be stored in this app.py wala file. So this is our main file जहाँ पे we can write all of our UI code. So I have written all those imports already. So these are all the imports that we have used in our notebook. So first we will load that data set which we have dumped. So I will write series is equal to pickle dot code, and here we will write open strings. We will pass the name of the pickle file, so that is final df dot pkl, and in read binary. So this is our final df. So final df is nothing but ये जो pickle file है इसे we will convert it into a data frame. So we'll write pd dot data frame series, and one more thing that we need to do is हमें एक train df बनाना है. तो train df will be nothing but all the values except the poster path, because as you know we have a poster path in this dataset. Yeah, so we don't need this poster path, इसलिए we will create another data frame named train df. I will write train df, which will be nothing but final df dot drop columns is equal to poster path comma axis is equal to 1. So now we will have to create the model. So all you have to do is copy this code. We have already created the model. Just copy this code, paste it here, so that हमें हमारा मॉडल मिल जाएगा. The next thing that we need to do is, now यहाँ पे fit की जगह will fit में new df की जगह will pass train df. Okay, so the next thing is there is image path. So this is nothing but a prefix for those poster path. इसके आगे अगर कोई भी एक poster path attach करूँ तो I will get that particular poster. So we will need it later. So we will now create a function that will recommend the series. So इसमें भी हमें कुछ नहीं करना है, we have already done that. So I will write def recommendation. यहाँ पे we will get a series name. So currently I am passing nothing, so I'm writing pass here. So let me first show you how you can create a basic Streamlit UI. So we have already imported Streamlit. So as you can see, Streamlit has st. So all you have to do is we will write for example, let's say if I want a title, so I will write st dot title and give a heading. Let's say web series recommendation engine. So as you know, if I run this cell, it will create this app.py. So let's run this cell, and now you can see we have a app.py. Now the next thing is to just run this particular line of code. So I will just paste this code into the description. So all you need to do is just copy and paste this code. So when you will just run this code, all you have to do is copy this password, click on this link, paste this password here, click on submit. And you can see a Streamlit application is running here. Yeah, so we have the title web series recommendation engine, which means it's working. So now you just stop this and create the further UI part. So now we need to take user input. So I will write st.text input. Here we will display text, enter the name of the series and इसको हम स्टोर कर देंगे यूज़र इनपुट वेरिएबल में. So this will be nothing but the user input that we will get here. So I will just pass user input here in this recommendation. So next thing that we will do is to complete this recommendation. So here we will first fetch the distances and indices जिसका कोड हमने already लिखा है. So I will just copy this code, paste it here. So अब हमें क्या करना है कि जितने भी indices है उससे we will fetch the names and poster path. So I will create a list, names, it will be a blank list, and posters, again a blank list. And now we will do for I in index का 0. So index का 0 is nothing but it's a list of other indices. So for I in indices, it will be indices का 0. And so here we will write names dot append train df dot iloc I जो भी हमारा इंडेक्स होगा and will fetch dot name. So if I show you this thing on our df, so let's say we have this df4. So df4 dot iloc 4 to 6 अगर हम देखें, which is nothing but this swam thing. So if I run it, you will get this swam thing. यहाँ से हमें name fetch करना है, so I will write dot name. So dot name करने से we will get this swam thing. So I will go here and dot name करने से I will get the particular name and it will be stored in that names का list. Similarly we will do posters के लिए. So posters dot append में I will give final df because हमारे posters final df में है, poster paths जो है. So final df का dot iloc I, इसमें से हम fetch करेंगे poster path and yeah, so this will be the poster path. So if you want to see the poster path, so यहाँ पे name की जगह if I pass poster path, so you can see we have this poster path here. Yeah, and then हम loop से बाहर आके return करेंगे names, comma posters. So ये हमारा recommendation function हमें names and posters return कर देगा. Now to convert this thing into a UI, we will need a button. So हम लिखेंगे if st dot button and we'll give the name. तो button पे जो name आएगा that will be recommend. So that recommend पे click करेंगे तो we will get the recommendations. So if button पे किसी ने click किया है तो we will fetch names comma posters from our recommendation का function. So I will write recommendation and यहाँ पे पास करेंगे user input, जो भी user input हमें मिला है. Okay. One more thing that we need to do is यहाँ पे we need to change this to train df and आगे का drop मैं हटा के we have .loc series name की जगह we will write user input. Okay, yeah, so we will get all the names and posters का list from this recommendation जो यहाँ से return कर रहा है. And then what we will do is we will create like we are recommending 5 web series, so we will create 5 tabs. So the tabs are nothing but columns in Streamlit. So I will write call1, call2, call3, call4 and call5 is equal to st.columns, and इसमें हमें कितने columns चाहिए? We need 5. So we'll pass this. So now we have got 5 tabs. In 5 tabs में what we need to display, so I will write with call1 means call1 में what we need to display. So let st.header will give a title to a bold title to our name. So इसमें will pass names का first element, not the 0th element, because the 0th element would be वही web series with itself, so we don't need that. So now we have the title. Next thing that we need to display is that title का poster. So I will write st.image, and इसमें as we have posters में poster path, but we need to add this image path so that वो full path बने. So we will write image path plus poster path का first element. So as we have 5 tabs, so we need to do the same thing for the 5 tabs. So just copy paste it. So 3, 4 and 5th. So I will just rename it quickly. Yeah, so I am done with all the columns, and yeah, so we are almost done. So अभी हम इसे रन करेंगे ये फाइल को, so that it gets overwritten and gets created. Now if we try our website, so I will just run this, copy this password, click on this link, just paste the password here, click on submit. I hope so there are no errors. Yeah, so it's running. We have the title, we have the input box, and we have the button to recommend. So let's try. So I will write Stranger Things, and if I click on recommend, yeah, so yeah, it's working perfect, because as you can see we have few recommendations which are related to Stranger Things, like Swamp Thing, Raising Dion. इनका content almost similar है. So let's try with another web series. Let's try with The Simpsons. So if I click on Simpsons, as it is animated, so I hope कि animated series recommend हो. Yeah, so Life with Louis seems animated. The Browns, okay, Family Matters. So yeah, this kind of looks like some family comedy series, same as Simpsons. So it is working quite fine. Let's try with another series. If I write Lucifer, let's try it with Lucifer. Yeah, as Lucifer is a crime mystery kind of a web series, so yeah, maybe you are getting similar kind of recommendations. So it is working fine, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. That's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.